makers of Flashman's Fresh Yeast present I Love a Mystery. Mystery, presenting the latest adventures of Jack, Doc, and Reggie, specialists in crime and adventure, now engaged in traveling secretly from the Mexican border to the Canadian border by underground railway in the face of death. You know, just yesterday I heard a woman say,
I tell you, Sarah, if I were a man, I'd enlist in the Army or Navy right now. I want to do something. But what can a woman do to help the defense program?
Now, I just hope that lady's listening in. Because I want to remind her and other American women that there's plenty you can do to help. As a matter of fact, you women are already faced with one of the biggest civilian defense problems. The problem of making Americans strong and healthy and more efficient. And it's not an easy job. It's been stated that 40% of the people in the United States have poor and inadequate diets. This means they're not getting enough of the right kinds of foods, enough of the essential vitamins. And because it's your duty and the duty of every American woman to see that your families enjoy Health Plus, I want to tell you that you can get many of these important vitamins easily and inexpensively in Flashman's Fresh Yeast. But remember, no other yeast has all the vitamins shown on the Flashman label. So for a good supply of vitamin B complex and other important vitamins, drink 2 cakes of Flashman's Fresh Yeast every day. Yes, drink it, America. To your health.
Secret Passage to Death, a new Carlton Morse adventure thriller. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, far off the beaten path in the mountainous backcountry, somewhere in Inyo County in southeastern California. It's been 3 months now since the nightmare case of the monster in the mansion was completed. And it's only been a month since Reggie got out of the hospital, recovered from the injury received on the case. Just a week ago, a very correct gentleman walked into the boys' A1 Detective Agency offices and made them a very strange proposition. As a result of the proposition, the three left their luscious secretary, Jerry Booker, in charge of the office and filtered unobtrusively and, they hoped, unobserved, down to the Mexican border. There, in the back room of a border hangout of doubtful repute, a Spanish girl gave them a message which sent them stealthily to a riding stable on the outer edge of town. There, they were mounted on 3 fine horses and added instructions murmured into Jack's ear by a Mexican stable boy. And here they are on the final stretch of the first lap of their strange mission, racing against time and someone who is following them.
Yeah, ain't no doubt about it, Jack. Down they come over the ridge. We're being followed.
They're coming fast, huh?
Like Billy-O. How much farther, Jack?
About a mile. No more talking now. Dig in and ride.
I say, mountain stream ahead.
Never mind the mountain stream.
Here we go. Iron cowboy.
Hey, get out of that sand. Here's the road over here.
And water road. Come on, baby. Show this Texas boy what you can do. Come on, up. Up, thanks with you. That's the girl. Up, straight out. Hey, girl, what's holding you back?
Jack, I've been watching over my shoulder. They still haven't caught sight of us. Never mind that. Ride.
Oh, man. This here road sure ain't traveled much. We're nearly up to our knees in leaves.
Yeah. There's a stretch just ahead, Carl, of a rock cliff, so keep your horse's head up.
You bet you.
I say, we're about to descend through sheer rock cliffs. Yeah. This is the stretch I was telling you about. Watch out.
Whoopee, boy, what a ride. Hang on to your hat, kid.
Hey, Doc. cut the clowning and ride, will you?
Well, okay, son.
I say, I hear running water. Yeah. I hope there's a bridge there when we come to it. That's an awful deep ravine on our left.
Son, you ain't kidding. Hey, Jack, there's a bridge up yonder.
Yeah. It's a narrow one. We'll have to take it one at a time.
Okay, lead off, son.
You bring up the rear, Doc. Well, look here, a belly swinging bridge. Jack's over. Here I go.
That's the boy, Reg. Here I come. How about it, Jack? We're nearly there.
Shouldn't be long now.
We must be outriding the men behind us. Haven't seen them since that last bridge. Way back.
I hope so. They shouldn't have been behind us at all.
There's another bridge ahead. It's a wide one. We can all take it at once.
That's the bridge I was looking for. Not far now. We turn to the right just ahead onto a gravel road. Follow me.
I say, there's a farmhouse yonder among the trees. Is that our destination?
It is if there's a white gate open.
Yeah. Well, son, there's your white gate, and it's standing wide open.
Okay. Inside and head across the pasture for that barn.
Come on, baby, we're heading for the barn.
What do we do when we get to the barn?
The big doors at the front should be standing wide open.
Yeah. Yeah, they are, too. I can see them.
Ride right into the barn. Come on. This is the last lap.
Okay, son, here we are. Now what? Shall I close the doors?
No, I'm supposed to press a button here on the wall someplace.
Press a button?
Yeah. Oh, here it is.
But you press a button, then what happens?
Watch.
Hey, why, it's the elevator. The whole darn barn's going down into the ground.
No. Not the whole barn, just the room.
Oh, really? Well, I'll be a skinned skunk and hung up to dry if this don't beat anything I ever did see.
Pretty clever, huh?
Yeah. Well, okay, we're down. Now what?
We wait.
For what?
I don't know yet.
Say, Jack, what's up above? Do you know? What takes the place of this room up at the entrance of the barn?
Hey, Mal. Anybody who tries to get into the side of the barn we came in, all they find is a mouthful of hay.
Ain't this the silliest darn thing you ever did see? What's a contraption like this doing way up here on a mountain ranch anyhow?
Didn't you ever hear of an underground railway?
I say.
Oh, well, you mean this is one?
This is one of the stations.
Well, I'll be. Jack, I swear to my grandma, I never knowed we was getting into anything like this. You mean they use this to smuggle folks in and out of the country?
I've told you everything I know about it. All I know is we're here to do a job.
For what kind of a job?
That's what we're here to find out.
Well, what happens if we don't want the job after we hear about it?
I don't know.
Well, that sounds great.
Yeah. How about getting the saddles off these horses and giving them a rub down?
Rather. My nag's steaming like a boiler.
Yeah. How'd you like to spit out that bit for a while, baby?
Oh, leave the bits in.
Huh?
Don't want to take any chance of their whinnying for a while. Hey, find anything to rub them down with, Reggie?
Here's some old pieces of saddle blanket. Some horse blankets here to cover them with after we finish, too.
Good.
Good evening, gentlemen.
I see.
Hey, where did you come from?
Through the door yonder.
But I thought we was down underground.
You are.
But I don't see...
You will in a minute. Are you Jack Packard?
No, ma'am. I'm Doc Long.
I'm Packard.
Oh, well, I'm Mrs. Tom Blair, Mr. Packard. My husband owns this ranch you're stopping at.
Oh, I see.
And you men are to come with me.
But the horses?
Oh, they're Tom's horses. One of the men will take care of them.
Oh, I see.
Now, come with me. You go on through and wait while I lock the door.
Here, how about me helping you?
No.
Well, all right. Hey, we're in kind of a tunnel.
What do you mean a kind of a tunnel? It is a tunnel.
Well, okay, so it's a tunnel.
Now then, will one of you hand me that kerosene lantern off the peg?
You bet you. Here you are, Mrs. Blair.
Thank you. Come this way.
Fine sandy dust underfoot. This tunnel must stay dry the year round.
Yes, it does.
Are the others here?
What others?
I don't know. That was just a shot in the dark.
Oh, there's no use questioning me. I don't know a thing about anything.
Oh, but your husband, Tom Blair, does, huh?
Well, Tom's a rancher. Why would he know anything? Just a minute.
Hey, it's a door. Is this the way out?
No. You gentlemen wait in here, please.
I see. Nothing but a bare, sod room.
Yeah. Come on in.
I don't get it.
I'll leave this here lantern on the peg inside the door so you'll have some light.
Hey, you just gonna leave us here?
My husband will be along directly.
Joe, locked in to boot.
Jack, what you make of this setup anyhow?
You know as much as I do.
You're taking it mighty calm.
Well, why not? There's a $500 retainer fee in our bank in Hollywood and another $2,000 to go with it when we finish the job.
Yes, but what job?
I don't know.
Yeah, we've been riding the tails off them plugs for 6 hours without a let up, and instead of getting a chance to wash up and tuck some grub away and go to bed, what happens? We get stuck away underground in a little old sod
Oh,
room.
relax, Doctor.
Well, why should I?
You'll live longer.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh. Somebody's unlocking the door.
Good evening, men.
Good
I
evening.
do.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Tom Blair.
I'm Packard.
Glad to know you, Packard.
This is Doc Long. This is Reggie York.
Howdy, Mr. Blair.
I'll take you to where you can clean up, and then we'll throw some food into you presently. At first, I got to ask you a question.
Yeah, shoot.
Those horsemen who were following you get a good look at your faces?
Well, as far as we know, they didn't. Certainly not after we knew they were on our trail.
When did you know that?
Oh, about 6 miles the other side of this place.
How'd you come to know you was being followed?
Well, first we didn't. Reggie happened to look back and noticed a posse coming up on us fast from over a rise. We didn't have any idea whether they were after us or not, but we didn't like the look of it, so we lit out.
It didn't take long after that to figure out who they was chasing.
Oh, yeah. They'd like to catch up to you, all right.
Why?
Well, that's nothing to do with me.
Well, who does it have to do with?
You'll get all that after you've eaten.
Well, would you mind answering me this, then? What would have happened to us if we had been caught?
Oh, a couple of slugs in the liver. Carcasses tossed down some out-of-the-way canyon.
I say.
Hey, who was them bandits anyhow?
That I wouldn't know.
You don't know nothing, do you, Sport?
Oh, never mind, Doc. We're sorry we lured whoever they were into this neighborhood, Blair. Are they liable to suspect you're hiding us and make trouble?
No, we took care of that.
How?
3 of my men were waiting on horses in the woods where you turned off to the barn.
For what?
They took up the ride down the road where you left off.
That posse's chasing 3 of your men now?
Sure. Must be 10, 12 miles away by now. Still going strong.
Oh, I say, what happens then?
Oh, when my boys get tired, they'll lead them up some blind mountain road and lose them.
Well, pretty clever.
Yeah, and who'd ever think a nice little old farmhouse like this think it was an underground railroad station anyhow? Don't...
Just a minute. Yeah? What is it?
Tom, honey, they just brought an unconscious girl in on a stretcher.
An unconscious girl?
Yes, and the queerest thing, she's Chinese.
The beginning of adventure, the first station in an underground railway. A posse of killers, and now they bring in a Chinese girl on a stretcher. They? Who are they? But first, a brief message from the makers of Flashman's Fresh Yeast. Now, I'll bet that when you modern housekeepers buy things for your families, you're pretty careful, aren't you?
Pretty careful isn't the word, Mr. Dahlstead. We're regular Sherlock Holmes, looking for evidence that tells us we're really getting our money's worth.
Well, that's the way you should be, especially when you buy food for your families. Because right now, it's more important than ever for busy Americans to have properly balanced diets. And this means getting adequate amounts of important vitamins, especially of the vitamin B complex, which you find in natural foods like yeast. So, before you or other members of your family start taking yeast for an added supply of vitamins, I want to suggest that you read the Flashman's yeast label first.
Is there a difference in the vitamin content of various yeasts?
You bet. Flashman's yeast is not only one of the richest natural sources of vitamin B complex, it contains other important vitamins as well. Just look at the label. Vitamin A, 3,100 units. Vitamin B1, 150 units. Vitamin D, 400 units. Vitamin G, 40 to 50 units. And remember, Flashman's is the only yeast with all these vitamins. And that includes fresh yeast, dry yeast, and any other kind of yeast. So, friends, if you want to add vitamin B complex and other essential vitamins to your diet, drink 2 cakes of Flashman's fresh yeast every day. Yes, drink it, America. To your health.
That was the best food I've clamped down on in I don't know when. How about that, Jack?
I'm more interested in that Chinese girl.
Oh, sure, only that don't keep me from getting hungry. What you grinning about, Red?
Nothing.
You ate just as much as I did, I noticed. When you reckon we're going to get a look at this sleeping Oriental... Well, hello, Mrs. Black.
If you've finished eating, come this way, please.
Yeah, we're finished.
I'm doing good food, too, Mike.
Follow me, please. Now watch where you step. I'll hold the lantern so you can see the floor.
Seems to be in some kind of a storeroom. Look at them shelves of canned fruit.
Quite. Bins of potatoes, cabbages, and apples.
She said to keep your eyes on the floor.
Wait, please.
Well?
The gentlemen are here.
Yes, let them come in.
You're to go in here.
Thanks.
Hey, ain't you coming in?
No. Good night.
That's funny.
Well, never mind, Mrs. Blair. Come on. Shall we come in?
Yes, please do. Be careful you don't fall over something.
Yeah, I ain't used to candlelight.
This is Mr. Blair's carpenter room. Close the door, please, Mr. York. Sit down on whatever's convenient.
Yeah, I can't see you good, but your voice sounds like a fellow that made us a proposition back in our office in Hollywood.
Exactly. I'm Rupert Knight. You've carried out your initial instructions very well. My congratulations.
Well, I thought you'd say just the opposite.
Why, Packard?
Well, the enemy, at least I suppose it was the enemy, picked up our trail and were hot after us when we arrived.
My dear Packard, the enemy is going to be hot on your trail every minute of the night and day until you've completed the commission I'm about to give you. You got here safely, and the enemy's been thrown off the scent for the moment. That's all we can expect.
Hey, am I seeing things, or is that the figure of a little old female gal sitting over yonder in the shadow?
Yes, she's Eve Barclay. Eve, these men are Jack Packard, Doc Long, and Reggie York, who to be your companions on this occasion.
Good evening, gentlemen.
We're to have Miss Barclay on our hands?
And the unconscious body of the Chinese girl on the cot beside Eve.
I'm beginning not to like this. What's the unconscious Chinese girl for?
This little Oriental girl is in a hypnotic sleep. She was hypnotized 7 days ago in a Spanish seaport of her own consent. Placed in a casket and flown to Africa, then across to South America, and finally to the Mexican border where she was smuggled across to me.
Why?
She has vital information for a certain unnamed international society with headquarters in London. When she arrives in Canada, she'll be taken to the proper quarters, awakened, and permitted to divulge her secret.
What, you mean she's flying halfway around the world to get some information to London from Spain? Well, why didn't somebody fly straight to England with a secret?
Yeah, or give it to this so-called unnamed society's representative in Spain, or radio it through to England.
It's not the type of information which can be given by word of mouth alone.
You mean she's got some papers on her?
You've had all the information concerning the secret I'm permitted to give.
Well, you still haven't said why she didn't give her information to the society's representative in Spain, or even in Africa.
Yeah, or fly it there. And what is this, your unnamed international society with headquarters in London anyhow?
You are here to perform, not ask questions.
How about that, Jack?
That's right.
Okay, sport, you talk.
For the last 6 months, headquarters has been trying to get this secret. 3 times, planes started out with it and simply vanished. 7 of the society's officials have been murdered after receiving portions of the information. 2 in Oporto, 3 in The Hague, and 1 each in Nice and Bordeaux. And I know of 5 members of a private intelligence organization who have died over it.
Jove, what kind of an enemy is your bally society up against?
Exactly. If we knew, we'd be better equipped to fight it.
Well, if this is true, then what chance do you think we got?
Well, we've got to keep trying. We've got the girl this far.
But you really don't give us much chance, eh?
Do you know who you're up against?
You just told us nobody knew.
I mean, do you know who you'll be battling from the Mexican to the Canadian border?
Who?
Every criminal and every criminal organization in the country.
Oh, where do they come in at?
The society's enemy has put $50,000 in an American bank which will be paid to the man or men who kill or capture, it doesn't matter which, this Chinese girl.
Hey.
No strings attached?
Only one. The body must be delivered to a certain known person in San Francisco for the payoff.
Well, ain't that a pleasant thought?
And who is Miss Eve Barclay?
Eve is the Chinese girl's companion.
Oh, I see.
I was with her when she was hypnotized. Her control insisted that I must be with her when she is awakened.
Look, you mean to tell me that a person can be kept in a hypnotic state indefinitely?
On the other hand, such long periods are most unusual, and I'm told in certain cases might prove fatal. This little Chinese girl is different.
Yeah?
That is so. She has been a subject for a hypnotist for a number of years. On a number of occasions, she has been under a spell for 2 and 3 weeks without harm.
That's why she was chosen for this mission.
Yeah? You mind if I look at her?
You may, if you wish.
Yeah, I don't care if I do.
And it's going to be our job to get Miss Barclay and this Chinese girl north to the Canadian border?
Yes. With every trigger man and would-be killer hot on our trail? From groups like Murder Incorporated right down to the meanest little petty thief in the street.
It's a job.
Believe me, it's a job. I understand as well as you do that it's 10 times the job with an unconscious girl to look after.
Well, she's not going to be as difficult as Miss Barclay.
You will have very little trouble with me, Mr. Packard.
I hope so.
I have been looking after myself for several years now.
You two had better start getting together. You're practically going to be sitting in each other's laps from now on.
Does she understand I'm bossing the outfit?
You do understand that, don't you, Eve?
Yes.
Understand this, Packard. You aren't being turned out on your own when you leave here. You'll follow a secret way which has been worked out with all the cunning of clever men's minds. You're to travel from point to point, stations in the Underground Railway which have been tested and made as secure against danger as possible.
Yeah, you told us that back in Hollywood.
The only time you will be in grave danger, the only time we cannot help you is while you're traveling from one station to the next. Then you're entirely dependent on your own resources.
Well, that's what we're getting paid for.
Exactly. You men were chosen because your past record shows exceptional resourcefulness in danger. Resourcefulness and a loyalty to the man or cause you're working for at the moment.
What was that last crack?
I just want it well established in all your minds that if this Chinese girl and Eve Barclay here are betrayed, you will be hounded to the very ends of the earth.
Well, we're impressed right down to the bone.
For your sakes, I hope you are.
Hey, Doc, haven't you seen enough of that sleeping Hong Kong beauty by this time?
Jack, come over here. I want you to see something.
This girl is a Manchu.
Come here. Come here, Jack, and look at her face.
Tiny thing. Doesn't look much more than a child.
She's 18.
Well, I'm glad of that. This country's got some pretty strict ideas about what you can and can't do with minors. And I'm not at all sure that hypnotizing a young girl and lugging her around the country isn't one of the things you can't do.
There's nothing to worry about there. The girl is 18.
Did you ever see such a little face? Pretty, too. Like a little piece of porcelain or something.
What's her name?
Does it matter?
No, I suppose not.
I say, how are we supposed to handle her? We better well can't take a stretcher wherever we go.
Yeah, that's something.
Treat her exactly as you would any sleeping or unconscious person. You shouldn't have much difficulty carrying her about, Mr. York.
Hey, what you look at Reggie for? I'm the one who looks after the female women in this outfit.
Except for the actual lifting and carrying her from place to place. I'll do all the looking after this girl that will be necessary.
Yeah, I reckon you will at that.
You can believe me. I will.
And now it's time you learned that you've still another 10 miles to go tonight.
Tonight?
Yes.
What the heck? Only 10 miles? We'll be there before you know it. What about a horse?
There'll be no horses on this trek.
10 miles on foot?
You're going places where a horse couldn't go.
Carrying the Chinese girl?
Yes?
Well, I'll be doggone, Jack. They hired us for a string of pack horse.
And you've wasted enough time. You start immediately. You ready, Eve?
Yes, certainly.
Packard?
Whatever you say.
Good. Here's a detailed map of your route and your instructions for making your next contact. You've got 2 minutes to digest it and then it's to be burned.
Oh, well, why 2 minutes?
Don't bother him. He must concentrate. Leave him to himself.
Mr. Knight, may I ask a question?
Yes, of course.
I should think strange activities around a place like this would soon bring neighborhood gossip and inquiry. I mean, how do you keep the station of your underground railway secret over a long period of time?
You've got the wrong idea, Mr. York. This farm hasn't been used as an underground station for over a year. It may not be used for another year, perhaps never again. The railway is flexible. The stations are always being changed. So if one is spotted, it's simply abandoned.
Jove, that must require a tremendous organization.
That we will not talk about.
Well, what the heck is it for? I can see it comes in handy for getting this little old Chinese gal to Canada, but rest of the time, what's it used for?
That is none of your business.
Oh, it ain't, huh?
Definitely not.
Well, pardon my lifted pinky. Ain't I just too curious for words?
Okay, Doc, break it up.
Jack, I don't like the way somebody thinks he can shove me around.
You finished with the instructions?
Yep.
Then burn it.
Jack, I said I don't
Hey,
like...
Doc, will you hold still?
Here's a match, Jack. I say, that must have been greased paper the way it went up in a puff.
It was. All right, Packard, take over. It's in your hands now until you reach the next station.
Right. Miss Barclay,
Yes.
stick out your feet. Let me see your shoes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Good climbing shoes. Are they broken in?
They are.
You got a good warm sweater under that jacket?
I have one in my knapsack.
Okay, we're going pretty high. It's liable to be snappy towards the morning. Reggie,
Right.
you'll carry the Chinese girl to start with.
But Jack...
Get up,
I-
Doc. Pick her up, Reggie.
Right. There, I have it.
Okay. Now, after we leave this room, I'll lead off. Reggie, you immediately behind me. Miss Barclay behind Reggie, and Doc, you bring up the rear.
Okay, well, let's do something instead of standing around here talking.
All right, Mr. Knight. Everybody keep close to me. See you sometime again, Mr. Knight.
Definitely. We're depending on it. Good luck.
Here we go. Here's where we take to the woods.
We start to climb pretty quick?
Yep, almost immediately. No more talking now.
Man, it's hard walking on this granite and gravel and stuff, especially toting this little old Chinese doll.
Want me to take it back for a while?
No, I'm doing all right.
All right, hold it.
We must be darn near on top of this mountain.
Yeah, just about. It's now 2 o'clock in the morning.
I say, we've been climbing steadily almost 6 hours.
Yep, we're about a mile from the second station. I hold out, Miss Barkley.
Why do you keep asking that? I'm perfectly all right.
Well, it was quite a climb.
I don't think so.
Well, I'm glad of it, but you don't need to be so snide about it.
In this business, I take your instructions. Otherwise, I act as I choose.
One of them coal mamas that was weaned on an icicle.
Okay, let's leave it that way.
How do we get to the station from here?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, but according to my instructions, there should be a man waiting under that scraggly oak tree over there who can show us.
Well, let's get to going. It's cold and misty. You've barked his heart standing around here.
All right, lay off, Doc. Reggie, you stay here with Doc and the Chinese girl. Miss Barkley, you come with me.
Why?
I want to leave 2 men to guard this girl at all times. You come with me to contact the outpost who's waiting for us.
Certainly.
Come on. You fellas wait here.
Well, hurry up.
Is this the tree you meant?
Yeah. Hold it. Doc didn't see none of that tree. Hey there. Last call for the boys in blue.
What's that mean?
You'll know. Funny I don't get any answer. Stay here. I'm going under the branches.
Yes.
Hey, what's this?
Is the man there?
Yeah, he's here. Hanging by his neck from a limb.
Program for relinquishing a portion of this time in order that you might hear the latest news from the NBC newsroom. President Roosevelt will address the nation by radio tomorrow night at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The President's address will be heard over this station. We repeat the time, 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time tomorrow night. The President presumably will give the nation a report on the war with Japan. The National Broadcasting Company and all its affiliated stations are operating on a 24-hour basis in the present emergency. Keep tuned to this station for the latest news. They're evacuating women, children, and the aged and infirm tonight from around Fort MacArthur in California. The order for that evacuation was issued by Colonel W.W. Hicks, the commanding officer in charge of defense in the Los Angeles harbor area. San Francisco has no system of air raid sirens, but they worked out a substitute today in San Francisco. In case of an air attack, all fire engines will be moved into the streets, and their sirens will be used as a warning. The only member of Congress to vote against war on Japan was being urged tonight to change that vote. She is Representative Jeanette Rankin, who also voted against war in 1917. The Republican National Committee man in her state of Montana telegraphed Representative Rankin that she should redeem Montana's honor by changing her vote. If any further news develops, this program will be interrupted from the NBC newsroom. Flashman Fresh Yeast present I Love a Mystery. I Love a Mystery, presenting the latest adventures of Jack, Doc, and Reggie, specialists in crime and adventure, now engaged in traveling the hidden underground railway from Mexico to Canada in the face of death. Now, if I were to ask you to take Flashman's yeast, not for a month or 2 months, but for just 1 week, to see what benefits you can get, you'd think that a pretty reasonable request, wouldn't you?
Sure, sounds reasonable to me.
But, say, can one really notice a difference after taking Flashman's yeast for just 1 week?
Well, recently over 150 people completed a special test of Flashman's yeast. And 6 out of 10 said they benefited the very first week. And after 4 weeks were up, 9 out of 10 reported definite benefits.
Say, Flashman's yeast must be all right.
You bet. Flashman's yeast is one of the richest natural sources of vitamin B complex. And many people need more of this important group of vitamins to help them feel brilliantly alive and fit.
Well, I believe I'll try Flashman's yeast for a week. I'd like to see what it can do for me.
Swell. And remember, you can keep the whole week's supply right in the refrigerator. Then last thing every night, first thing every morning, drink Flashman's fresh yeast and tomato juice. Yes, drink it, America. To your health. Secret Passage to Death, a new Carlton Morse adventure thriller. 3 o'clock in the morning on the brow of a rugged peak, somewhere in the mountainous and sparsely inhabited eastern California county known as Inyo. 3 o'clock in the morning over a mile above sea level, lighted by a white, frosty moon and freezing cold. And instead of being met by a friendly guide, the trail ends in the chilling shadow of a gnarled oak with the body of a man swaying from a limb, hanged by the neck. That's where Jack Packard, Doc Long, and Reggie York are now, looking up at this dangling corpse which was to have been their friend and guide. Crouched in the protective shadow of a jagged granite rock out of the numbing cold is Eve Barclay, and with her, the unconscious small form of the Chinese girl. That's the whole object of this excursion into death and destruction. Jack, Doc, and Reggie have been hired to safely carry the Chinese girl, who is in a state of hypnotic sleep, from the Mexican border to Canada. And all the forces of evil in America are out to stop them. Eve Barclay is the sleeping Oriental girl's companion. The route they are traveling is the mysterious underground railway. Their first station was a hideout on the Mexican border. Their second station, a respectable but isolated farmhouse in Inyo County. And now, here they are approaching the third station. The man hanging from the limb was to have guided them to it.
Reggie, you go to the rock and stay with Miss Barclay and the Chinese girl.
We're going to remain here?
For a few minutes. Doc and I are going to cut this body down. Stay with the girls and keep your eyes open.
You may depend on us. You think there's still life in him, Jack?
No, there isn't. He's a dead pigeon. But I got to get some kind of a clue.
Huh?
Don't you realize we have got the faintest clue to the third station of the Underground Railway without this man's help? Yes, I think this is it.
Hey, that's right.
Get out your knife. I'll support the body when you cut it down.
Okay, but you don't think that anybody who'd take the trouble to kill this boy would leave him without going through his pockets, do you? Especially if he was killed to keep us from keeping from helping us.
So he was killed. Don't worry about that. You right?
Yeah, just say the word.
Okay. All right, cut him down.
Yeah.
There. All right, I got it.
Yeah, come here. Yeah. There you are. Laid out like a coffin. Hey, fella, I just got me an idea. Suppose the folks that strung up Oscar here are still around.
You just thought of that.
Yeah.
What do you think I sent Reggie over to the girls for?
Then you think maybe they are around?
What's to prevent?
Then why don't we get the heck on out of here?
Unless I get some information off this body, there's no place for us to go except back to the last station. Starting over.
Hey, son, after we spent practically all night getting this far?
My idea, exactly.
I don't see how it... Hey, what's this he's got in his left hand?
Huh?
Look, he's got something clutched in his fingers. If we could pry him open...
Never mind, I can see it.
You can?
Yeah. It's a little gold cross.
Oh, I thought it might be something we could use as a clue.
Well, maybe it is. Look, thin gold chain attached. He must have reached up and dragged it off his neck in his last instant of life.
Yeah, probably kind of religious. Poor fella.
Or maybe in one last desperate effort he was trying to leave us a message.
Gold cross? Don't leave no message to me.
I wonder. Come on, let's get out of here.
Wait a minute. What about poor old Oscar here?
You have friends. We'll find him. Our job is to get away from here fast. Let's do it.
Think he got on to something?
Maybe. Hey, isn't this where we left Reggie and the girls?
Yeah.
Hey, Reggie.
Around here, Jack. Come around the rock. Boy, did I get me a scare for a minute.
Peculiar. A bit dark, what? Sure, I hear this. More shelter from the cold. Miss Barclay was worried about the sleeping Chinese girl.
It's quite all right now. I put an extra sweater on her.
All right, now listen. In spite of our guide being dead, I think I got a clue to the third station. We came up to the brow of the peak from the south. There's a sheer 100-foot cliff just the other side of the oak tree over there where we found the body. That cliff cuts off any possibility of getting down on either the east or north side. So there's only one direction for us to go.
West, huh?
Yeah.
This is every country, Jack. Unless we've got a path to follow, it's going to be rough going.
It's just too bad. Doc, it's your turn to carry the Chinese girl.
Right now, huh?
Yeah. Is she ready, Miss Barkley?
Yes.
Okay, up you come, honey. Doggone her, she don't remind me of some little kid. She can't weigh more than about 80 pounds.
Doc, you follow right behind me with the girl, and you, Miss Barkley, and your lass, Reggie. The easiest walking is right along the edge of the cliff to begin with. Watch your step. Come on.
Oh, I'm plenty thankful for that moon.
Never mind the moon. Keep your eyes open for what might be waiting in the shadow.
Yeah.
We're coming to the edge of the cliff, so watch out. Hey, Doc, didn't I tell you to watch out?
Boy, that gravel is slippery.
If you want to dive off that cliff, go ahead and leave the girl behind.
Oh, I'll watch you. Hey.
Flat on the ground, everybody. Quick. Down, Miss Barkley.
Oh, what was that?
Rifle fire. Reggie, keep an eye open behind. Right up.
You think those are the men who hanged our guide?
What do you think? That shot came from behind, don't you think, Reggie?
Right.
Okay, we're going back. Keep on your hands and knees.
Hey, what about me?
You stay right where you are. Flat on your stomachs. All right, come on, Reggie.
Oh, that's great. A swell fight me laying here on my stomach with two female women.
Mr. Packard and Mr. York armed?
They're armed with what it takes to stomp out the kind of vermin that's back yonder.
Well, I hope.
We ain't getting off to such a good start, looks like.
I've been fighting this kind of thing ever since I left Spain with this sleeping girl.
You have had a time. Spain to Africa to South America to Mexico. Maybe you've been doing all right with that little Chinese doll.
Well, wait until she's been delivered to the International Society's headquarters in London before we start to pat ourselves on the back.
Doggone it, I wonder what it...
Here, listen.
That sounded like somebody went off the cliff.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah, listen. Well, whatever happened, it seems to be all over.
You think?
This ain't no time to think. This is a time to just wait and see.
Well, if that was Mr. Packard or Mr. York who went off the cliff.
Oh, don't be such a darn fool. Jack or Reg wouldn't make a noise like that if they was being cut up into little pieces.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. I'm kind of upset at that. Hey, listen.
There's somebody.
Who is it? Can talk fast.
It's okay, Doc. Relax.
Oh.
Is Reggie all right?
Okay. Up on your feet. Let's get on our way.
All over, huh?
Enemy encountered and badly discouraged.
That baby that went over the edge sounded mighty discouraged.
That's too bad. The other one didn't make a sound when he went over.
Two of them, huh?
Was it necessary?
Then there was. All right, here we go. Hey, hold it.
Bells.
I'm darned if that don't sound like it was at church somewhere down below.
Does it, Ben? What time do you suppose it is?
Somewhere around 4 o'clock in the morning. Come on.
Hey, do you realize we've been coming down that darn mountain for 5 hours?
Well, I'm down at last.
Where does it get us to? See any bacon and eggs around anywhere?
Well, let me take the girl for a while, Reggie.
No, I can keep it for a while yet. You better help us, Barkley.
Well, I'm afraid my feet are blistered.
Yeah, and that roll down into the ravine didn't do you any good. Let me give you a hand.
Oh, forget it. It's part of the game. Oh, look. Look through the trees.
I say, where?
The church spire.
That must be the mission whose bells we've been hearing.
Yes, ma'am. They ain't going to cats jump away. Man, do I hope they got a lot of bread and cheese. Come on, Morse, hold it up back.
But, I say, children singing.
There must be a school in connection with the mission.
Doggone, ain't that sweet? Listen.
All right, come on. Keep walking.
Son, I really go for that. All my life I've been crazy about kids. What I ought to have been as a family man.
You're a great family man. Here, let's go right straight across the lawn to the mission building.
They ain't gonna care much about us walking on that lawn, I bet you.
Oh, this is the place we're looking for.
Yeah.
I say, the singing stopped.
Probably caught sight of it. Look, there comes one of the sisters out on the porch.
Let me do the talking, will you?
Good morning. Are your people in trouble?
I'm afraid we are, sister.
Put the Chinese girl down, Mr. York, please.
What's the pleasure?
You are one of the sisters of this Catholic mission, aren't you?
Oh, you're mistaken. I'm not a sister. And this isn't a Catholic mission.
Oh.
No. It's interdenominational, if anything.
Oh. Are you head of the mission school?
Oh, no. I'm only a teacher.
Yes, ma'am. We heard them singing as we come up.
Yes. They sing like little angels. But something must be done for this little Chinese girl. I'll send one of the children to Dr. Lester.
Dr. Lester, the head of this mission?
Yes. Excuse me while I start one of the children on the errand.
Yes, certainly.
Nice lady, huh?
Jack, do you think this is the third station?
I don't know. I'm anxious to take a look at this Dr. Lester.
Oh, here come teacher.
Yeah.
We'll have Dr. Lester here in no time now. I suggest you men wait here until he comes. And I'll take these girls to the women's quarters. This Chinese girl, what's wrong with her?
She's fallen into a coma. We're trying to get her to a specialist.
Why, I see.
Reggie, you carry over to the women's quarters for Miss
Walters.
Yeah, Miss Walters.
This way, please.
Randall.
I hate to leave those girls underground.
Well, you can't expect us to go to the women's department. What would they think?
Hey, hold it. Here he comes.
Dr. Lester. Looks like a mighty fine, upstanding gent, if you ask me.
Good afternoon. You gentlemen wish to see me?
You the Reverend Dr. Lester?
I am.
I'm Jack Packard. This is Doc Long.
I see.
Were you expecting us? 3 men and 2 women, 1 Chinese girl?
Was I expecting? My dear sir, I was expecting no one. And certainly not a Chinese girl.
Not even an unconscious Chinese girl.
This gets more curious every minute. Now, if we can be of any assistance to
Oh,
you...
you doggone right you can. I'm so hungry I could eat ham and eggs in a row.
Food? Of course you shall be fed.
Just a minute. It's no concern of yours that 1 man was hanged and 2 others went to their death over a cliff on that mountain peak up there?
Mountain Peak?
Yes.
The death of my fellow men is always of concern to us who minister to men's lives.
The man who was hanged had a gold cross in his head.
It's good that he was thinking of his maker when his soul left his body.
That's all you've got to say?
I'm afraid I don't understand.
Oh, well, it's okay, Doctor. It's our fault, not yours. We'll accept your invitation to eat.
Excuse me, then. I'll give orders for its preparation. Just less things.
Not the third station, huh?
No.
Well, what about it, sir?
My boy, now you know how it feels to be absolutely and utterly lost.
The enemy of the International Society with headquarters in London, to whom the boys are trying to deliver a sleeping Chinese girl, has, for the moment, disrupted the underground railway system. This is only the beginning of adventure. But first, it's just time to tell our friend here in the studio how to make Flashman's yeast the new pleasant way. All right, sir? Here's all you do. Just mash up a cake of Flashman's yeast in a dry glass with a fork. Add just a little tomato juice and stir till smoothly blended. Fill the glass, give it another stir, and drink it immediately.
Say, that sounds easy.
I'll start drinking Flashman's yeast first thing tomorrow. I could use more vitamins.
Well, then just be sure that you always ask for Flashman's yeast. You know, Flashman's is not only one of the richest natural sources of vitamin B complex, but no other yeast has the other vitamins shown on the Flashman label. And that includes fresh yeast, dry yeast, and any other kind of yeast. So, friends, if you want to find out what yeast can do for you, go to your grocer's tomorrow and buy a week's supply of Flashman's yeast. Then try it for just 1 week. The last thing every night and the first thing every morning, drink 1 cake of Flashman's fresh yeast in tomato juice. Yes, drink it, America. To your health.
What day? Hey, where the heck we at?
The mission. Where we arrived this morning?
Yeah. You mean in the hay-barn of the mission?
Okay, come on. Anyway, it's now 7 in the evening.
Yeah, I've been sleeping here in the hay since noon.
Yeah.
Reggie and the girls, too?
Barkley's still asleep over there in the manger we fixed up for him.
Yeah, and hanging onto the China doll like grim death, I bet you.
Matter of fact, she handcuffed the Chinese girl to her before she went to sleep.
Well, where did she get her handcuff?
She had it.
Well, where's Reggie?
Woke up, so I sent around to see Dr. Lester about some food for this evening.
Doggone, don't you like the way them mission kids sing?
The teacher said this is their evening singing period before they turn in.
They had already, huh?
Yeah.
Jack, I don't get something. Miss Walters, or whatever her name is, was willing to keep Eve and the China doll in the women's quarters, and Dr. Lester said he could put us up at the mission.
That's what they said.
Well, then why in the heck did you insist on fucking us, including the women, out here in the barn?
If the mission isn't one of the stations of the Underground Railway, I don't want it to get mixed up in our trouble.
And it ain't.
No, I'm pretty sure of it. But I'm also pretty sure that the third station is somewhere in this general neighborhood. If it is, they should have heard about our being stranded here at the mission by this time. Especially as I asked Dr. Lester to spread it around the village down below about the hanged man with the cross.
You think he might come for us?
I think it's a possibility. That's why I wanted us all here together in the barn so we could get away quietly without causing a lot of fuss.
Oh, yeah, I get it. Doggone it, that's all right, too, son. That's what I call figuring things out.
There was only one disadvantage.
What's that? Hey, Miss Barkley.
Have you been listening?
Yes. What's the disadvantage?
Well, it's just as likely to bring the enemy as it is to bring friends.
Yeah. And how are we going to tell which is which?
Well, I suppose we make that when it happens. When did you bring the Chinese girl out of the manger?
Sure, I'll go get that little sleeping China doll. She's a hunk of stuff, if you ask me.
What does he call her, the China doll?
Well, she's even saying the sleeping Chinese girl all the time.
And very applicable, too.
Just wait till Jerry Booker hears that I've been carrying a little old cutie all the way from the Mexican border to the Canadian border and he's here mammy on.
Put the girl down. No, here.
Okay. There she is.
Thank you.
Hey, hold on. Somebody's coming in.
Say there. Everyone awake? Reggie. Hey, son. Whatever you got in that bucket smells mighty good to me.
There we are. Full tale of some of the best beef stew you ever tasted. I know, I tried it.
Son, now you're talking my language.
There's a China cup for each one. Here you are, Jerry.
Just dip in.
Did you hear that?
I heard someone calling.
I thought someone said the barn was on fire.
Hey, there's a fire all right. Hey, Jack, that smells smoke. We better get on out of here.
I just... Reggie, pick up the China doll. Doc, take her to this Barkley all the time. In case we're in the trouble, huh? Yeah.
What kind of trouble?
You don't think this barn just happened to catch on fire, do you?
Oh, yes.
Come on now, right behind me.
Uh-oh, you can smell smoke now. Definitely.
Hey, they're nearly to the door.
Look, the roof's on fire.
And the minute them burning shingles drop down on the hay, the whole haymow will be on fire.
Okay, here's the door.
Thank goodness we'll be out of it in a minute.
Go away from the opening until I have a look.
Are we in the clear?
Just a minute.
Did they get you, Jack? Shut that door, Reg.
Oh, but they came awful close.
Hey, Jack, what we going to do? Twist around?
Yeah. Getting pretty thick in here.
There's a couple of windows further down the wall. Maybe we could break in and get some air.
Well, you can get out that way.
I don't know about that. We'd show up in the firelight.
Leave it to him.
Well, come on. Here's what I mean.
Grab up something to break the glass. Little fresh air.
Say, what's the matter? Did you cut your hand? I didn't break that window. Something threw a rock in from outside. Give me a dummy chance. Oh, so now they're throwing rocks there.
Right. Here it is.
I say, Dad, there's a paper tied about it.
Paper? Here, let me see.
Tied about with a string. Here you are. Can you get enough light from a Haymark's on fire?
Yeah. Hey, listen. Dr. Lester says to go to the back of the grave room. There's a door leading down into a stone cellar. There is plenty of ventilation, so you'll not suffocate. Signed, last call for the boys in blue.
Well, you better find that grave room and quick.
Sure, I know the way. Follow me. Here it is.
It's a iron door.
That'll help you keep out the heat and smoke. Down you go. Watch your step.
You've done it yet?
I'm just closing the door. Better use your flashlight, Doc.
Okay. Boy, show us quiet down here. Let that barn just burn on down right here. Who cares? There we are. Doggone, when you look around, this must be the storeroom for the mission. Well, you look at all the supplies.
Yeah, it's clean and cool in spite of the fire up above.
Yeah. You better lay that there China dog down before Miss Barker jumps down your throat, Reggie.
I know.
Right here, please.
Hey, now what we going to do?
Wait until the fire dies down and the embers cool up above.
Which will be sometime toward morning, I reckon.
I say, is everyone awake?
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, me too. What time is it?
Just 3 a.m.
Oh, boy. You'd think the embers up yonder would be cool enough for them to come down and get to it by now.
I thought I'd heard some movement a short while ago.
Hey, you did. You hear, Jack?
Yeah, I heard it. Listen.
Here we are.
It's like they've come for us.
They got it open. Hey, that's our password.
Yeah. Here we are.
Good. I hope you saw no physical hurt.
None?
Excellent. Where are you from?
From a man hanging in an oak tree with a gold cross in his hand.
That's all I want to know. Come up the stairs.
Just a moment. We're going outside. It's a sad mixture of burned rafters, ashes, and smoldering hay. Follow close and you won't get hurt.
What about the enemy?
We never refer to the deceased when we can avoid it.
Deceased? That way, huh? Lead on, son.
Come.
Say, the ashes don't make a sound underfoot. I'm sorry the mission is losing this barn. They're not in on this.
They're not. They will be more than recompensed for their loss.
What's that over there in the shadow?
That is your conveyance, a 2-wheeled donkey cart. You may trust the driver implicitly.
And where are we going?
When you meet Joshua Peters, the Raven, tell him Roger sent you.
Roger?
Yes, the Jolly Roger, who has no face to speak of. See?
Hey, he ain't got no face.
That's right. My compliments to the ladies and good evening, gentlemen.
Sure.
Now one final tip from our sponsor. If you're planning to add more vitamins to your diet, read the Flashman yeast label first. Note the many important vitamins you get in yeast. And mind you, Flashman's is the only yeast with all these vitamins. And that includes fresh yeast, dry yeast, and any other kind of yeast. And if you bake at home, remember that 3 of the vitamins in Flashman's yeast, B1, B, and G, are not appreciably lost in the oven. They go right into the bread.
Jack, Doc, and Reggie on the secret passage to death will come to you next week at this same hour. I Love a Mystery, written by Carlton E. Morse, comes to you through the courtesy of the makers of Flashman's Fresh Yeast. Coffee lovers, enjoy truly great coffee. Chase and Sanborn's wonderful Super Rich blend. It's brimming with extra flavor and fragrance. Rich, heady, delicious. A blend that puts you in a holiday mood every day in the week. Your choice of drip or regular grind. Both economical, both supremely satisfying. For downright coffee pleasure. For the blend that's friendship in a cup. Ask your grocer for Super Rich, Chase, and Sanborn. This is the Blue Network of the National Broadcasting Company.